My name is Nicola Burnett and I'm a Senior Investigating Officer for Humberside Police. So Tom was socialising with a friend in Cleethorpes. They were having a good time, lots of drinks, and then a chance crossing in the street occurred with a group who they didn't know, never come in contact with during the evening at all or during the afternoon, and sadly a verbal altercation turned violent. There started to be some punches thrown, some kicks made, and then sadly a knife was produced during this altercation. So Connor Hulse produced a knife which he had hooked onto the belt of his trousers, and he started violently slashing towards both Tom and his friend. And sadly some of those slashes connected with Tom. He had a number of injuries, and sadly one of those slashes connected with the side of his head.
My name is Dr. Tom Eckersley. I'm an intensive care major trauma consultant at Hull Royal Infirmary. So in Tom's case, because he'd been stabbed to the head and with such force that the knife had penetrated his skull and gone into his brain, that he had a serious brain injury and developed several complications of that, being severe infection and also seizures.
I'm Candy and I'm Tom's auntie.
And I'm Tom's daughter.
I'm Ray and I'm Tom's granddad. Well, we fetched him up from being 6 years old, so he's more like a son than a grandson, to be honest. But yeah, he was my soulmate.
He loved skating, his children, absolutely devoted to his children. Just a family man, worked hard, liked to play a little bit hard sometimes, but always had his children at heart.
He was a good dad. He always used to take us everywhere. He always used to take us to Candy's pool and everything.
Yep, to the caravan.
And we always, like every weekend, we used to go swimming at Fort Park. And we'd go to loads of parties.
Yeah, we'd put the big pool up, wouldn't we? And your dad would do silly salmon into it, fully clothed.
We was at our caravan at Thorpe Park, and Tom rang us at 7 o'clock that night to say he was out with his mate from work, and he's just finishing a pint and going home. And then 20 minutes late, well, half an hour later, when we got the call that he'd been stabbed and he was on his way to go to the hospital. You really don't know at that stage the severity of the injuries, so it was shock and panic and unbelievable, really. You know, after 7 or 20 past 7 on a Friday night, you know, what's going off? And the blue lighted into Hull, so we shot through to Hull, where he spent the next 26 days and never went home.
We went up and down to Hull. Mum and Ray were there, like I say, the whole time. Hundreds of visitors he had daily. There was umpteen visitors all the time, constantly. You spent most of the time sat out in the waiting room, didn't you, just so people could go and sort of pay their respects and say hello to him and chat with him. But yeah, we were there the day that he passed, and it was just, well, heartbreaking.
I visited, but I wasn't allowed in because you've got to be 16. So yeah, it's just I didn't like not going in because everyone else was going in. Then
the day he died, as I say, all the family was there and we switched off the life support, and he's just numb. He's just absolutely numb. And since then, like I said, we sold the caravan, and we've now this last week moved home because of the memories. It's just too much for Carol more than myself, and our lives just seem completely and totally empty now. And when we see the grandkiddies and stuff, well, all his 5 children, it just brings so many memories back, and it's so, at the moment, it's so upsetting.
The emotional side of things is extremely difficult, and as a senior investigating officer it's really hard not to sort of get emotionally involved with it. The sheer determination I feel to sort of find out who is responsible and bring them to justice is just immense, really. And that's reflected in the ridiculous hours that we work, you know, all hours, to make sure that we've got all of the evidence that we possibly could get, so that when we do go to trial, we've got a really solid case to get justice for the family and for the victim.
It can be emotionally draining, but I think you just have to take the kind of thought that you have to do it to the best of your ability, because the family's going through such a terrible time, that you just have to kind of deliver it in as open and caring way as you can, so that they understand what's going to happen. I think it's important to try and keep some separation from work and life outside of work, but I think, you know, talking through cases with your colleagues is certainly a method that I use to try and process the kind of events that you're going through.
Money's been spent in buying these bleed kits in cabinets, very similar to the defibrillator kits, where they all have to be registered with the NHS side, and the first responders in Grimsby and Cleethorpes area have an app where they can go on and know where these bleed kits are. So, and we're still fundraising, and we're hoping to get a lot more out over the next, well, whatever.
Forever.
Yeah, whatever,
It's just,
yeah.
I'm doing my own fundraiser. It's just, I don't know, we're just going to do loads of games and we're going to raise money for another bleed kit, but we don't know. But I'm going to pick a place to put it to or something, but I don't know yet.
It's a catastrophic bleed kit, so it's for road accidents, machine accidents, anything. It could be used for anything, so just to get them out there into the community. And we've got Tom's photo on them, so it's just like a living memory of Tom, that something can come out of one mindless attack. I don't think I've met a person that I've spoke to about this that if they didn't know him personally, their son or their daughter or somebody went to school with him, everybody, and on all the reports, on all the papers and everything, not one bad word ever. And you tend to get some, not everybody likes everybody, but not one bad word about him, just what a great bloke he was, family man, kind, good skater.
Your mind's blocked. I wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about Tom and how different it could have been if he had gone out that night, or he'd have gone home 10 minutes earlier, and he got all these what ifs and all these questions that's never going to be answered.
People that's taken out are basically, it's not just affecting them, it's affecting the families too, because you don't know how they're going to feel. Right, we got a dog, and that's the only thing that brought us together again.
It's all right. All right.
What's the dog called? Nala. And what sort of dog is she? Is she a jumpy one? Is she a fussy one? Yeah, does she jump all over?
I mean, it is one of his youngest daughters. She's just turned 4, just started school, and she comes and I've got a ring with some of Tom's ashes in, and she'll look at it and says, "My daddy in there?" I say, "Yeah." She says, "Hiya, daddy," you know, and oh God, it just breaks my heart.
Like a play area.
You're not ready?
Oh, mine was 80. They were playing with their dad. Ended up in mine and play with my dad.
So when you went to a play area with younger children, I wanted to know where her daddy was to play with her. And you just getting along, and then all of a sudden it just hits you again and again and again, and it's just stupid, it's unreal, it shouldn't have happened. And it's happening all over the country, and it's just, we need to do more to try and stop these people going out with knives. How do we educate them?
What else can you do to keep yourself safe? If you feel that you need to keep yourself safe and protect yourself, is carrying a knife with you the right thing to do? Whether you intend to use it at that point or not, you're thinking, I'm going to carry it to protect myself, but actually, the whole purpose of carrying that knife is to hurt somebody, to use it against somebody, because why else would you have it there? They're really significant, as the suspect in this case has found out. You know, he's going to spend an awfully long time in prison bearing the weight of knowing that he's taken somebody's life. He had to stand there in court and listen to Tom's granddad talk about the impact, listen to his partner, Tom's partner, who's father to his children, listen to other family members and the impact this death has had. He had to sit and listen to that, and I really hope that sort of really affected him and gave him food for thought for all the years that he's going to be sat in prison. There's no situation where picking up a knife when you are having an altercation is going to improve that situation. People need to stop and think to themselves, what is the point?
His smile, his energy, his bounce, his daftness, his dancing in the kitchen. It just...
Dad dancing.
It sparkled. The most beautiful man. You could see his eyes, just his smile, just everything. Just lit a room up.